Hey guys, this is Mark. In this video, I will be demonstrating the usage of Hive for a specific use case. We will be exploring Hive sorted set, bucket storage type. The sorted set is special in a way where for a single key, the value that it contains is a collection of values, and every single value in that collection would have a score. Sorted set automatically orders all the values according to that score in the descending order, but you can retrieve data in any way, either block from the top, from the bottom, in the middle, based on various criteria. And the demo that I have demonstrates that. The data that I will be using is information about publicly traded companies. The score that I will have is going to be their market capitalization. Let me show you the raw data that I have. This is a spreadsheet. It's called companies. As you can see here, I have ticker symbol, company name, their logo, and this market cap column is going to be the actual score. So this is the actual market capitalization. There is about 100 companies here, specifically actually 91, since it starts with 1, ends at 92. Actually starts at 2. Anyway, so what I will do is I will load this data into backendless database first, and then we'll demonstrate the API of how to get the data from backendless database and put it into Hive, and then start using actual Hive API. So let's get going. By the way, the links for this video, the links for these files will be in the description for the video, so you'll be able to download and replicate this behavior in your own application as well. Let's start bringing this data into the application. For this, I will go into import, select the file. Here it is, companies.csv. The name of the table will be the same as the file name. For this, select the file, click import. Now we have to select individual data types for the columns. Most of them, in fact, all of them are going to be strings. The description will be text because some of the descriptions are rather long, and the market cap has to be double because we want this to be a number. Click finalize import. The import is starting. You can see the status of this import process by going to files and selecting the import directory sorted by date. Here's this log file for the current import. As you can see, import finished. It imported 91 records. When we go to data, and there is this companies table. So now all the data from that Excel, from that CSV file, is in backendless database. Now I put together a UI builder page that has the functionality of working with Hive. So this is the page. This button will load data from the database and put it into Hive. And then these 4 buttons, they use Hive APIs. Let me run it first. And we'll open up the network tab just so we can see I want to demonstrate the speed of working with Hive. So clicking this, it loads data from the database. As you can see, here's this find request. It took 430 milliseconds. As you can see in the response, this is the data that we got. And then putting data into Hive took only 118 milliseconds. Now, if I go back to backend and select under data, Hive is available on this icon. This is BDB, it's backendless database. And Hive, clicking on Hive, now we have Hive called companies. And in the sorted set, we have all this data. By clicking this button, we can see a list of all the data objects that are sitting in that Hive. Now, this is one key value pair. So the key is stocks. The name of the Hive is companies. The key is stocks, and the value is the collection of individual values. So in here, if I were to take any one of these JSON objects, and if we go to this JSON pretty print, and then make pretty, you see this is the JSON that is stored as an individual value in that collection of values. And here, these are all the same columns that we have as we have in the backendless database, because what I did is I got the objects from backendless database and put them directly into Hive. Now, let me quickly just to visualize the actual storage if it is not clear. And by the way, score is the market capitalization assigned to individual object. So to demonstrate the actual storage of how it is organized, I do have a slide here. This is how the data is organized in that specific Hive. The key is companies, and the value It's going to be a collection of these boxes. So in here, there's going to be a score, which is the market capitalization, and the value is this JSON. So here's we have an object for Microsoft, an object for Apple, and then there will be 91 of these values in that collection. So this is sort of a schematic visualization of that sorted set. Back in Backendless, if we go back to the UI builder, this is our page. And let me show you what the logic looks like for this load data into Hive button. Select the button, go into logic. And in here, we see that there is a block that loads data from the Backendless database. And then this block puts that data into Hive by specifying Hive name and the key name. What we're going to do here in this map items, it's the filtering block. Every single object that we retrieved, we extract market capitalization, and then we take this object. So what we do is for every single value, we create an array, a list consisting of the score and the actual value. So there will be 91 of these objects created, 91 arrays of 2 items created in here, and then this will return that main array consisting of those multiple mini arrays. And then that's what items expect. So this needs to be an array of arrays, and every single element in the secondary array consists of 2 elements, score and actual object. And that's what's going on right here. So by doing this, it copies data from Backendless database, puts it into Hive. In the user interface, you see there are 4 buttons. And let me show you what these buttons do. So top 10 companies goes into that sorted set and retrieves companies in the top 10 ordered fashion based on market capitalization. So click this, and then we got the response. Now notice that when I click the button, this is the API request that we got, and it took 64 milliseconds to fetch data from Hive, and then now it is rendered in here. If we go to bottom 10, click, and now we got the bottom 10 companies in the from that sorted set, and request for the bottom 10 took 82 milliseconds. If we get all the companies, so click all companies, so now we have all 91 objects with all of the information. I'm rendering only company name, market capitalization, here's a ticker symbol, sector, but I could have rendered all the properties that exist in that JSON. It would not impact the speed at all, but fetching all the companies, it took 114 milliseconds to fetch everything. This button does a query where we get all the companies with market cap between 500 billion and 1 trillion. Click that, and then this is the result. And that took only 43 milliseconds. So it is super, super fast to get the data. Now let's take a look at the actual logic that sits behind these buttons. So top 10 companies, if we go into the logic, this is the block that fetches data from sorted set. We specify the Hive name, we specify key name, which is stocks, and we go from 0 to 9. So every single value in that sorted set is assigned a position because it is ordered. It is ordered by market capitalization. By default, it is in the ascending order. So what we want to do to get the top 10, we have to reverse this order. So the reverse is set to true, and we go from 0, which is the very first position, to 9, which is the 10th position, and fetch that data. And for every single object that we get in from that collection, we manipulate the path for the logo, just so the logo can be fetched. And by the way, in the file storage of Backendless, I uploaded all the logo files. So by doing this, we modify the path so UI Builder knows how to fetch that data. And the result is that clicking this, we get these objects back. Okay. Now, if we take a look at the actual response for that request, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, we got score, which is right here, and then we get the actual object, and that's the structure of the response. So every single element consists of an array of 2 elements, score and the actual data. Next one is going to be bottom 10 companies, and the logic for that goes like this. So we go from, again, same Hive, same key name, and notice that the indexes is -10, -1, which may not be very intuitive, but the way this works is when the index is -1 in Hive, it means the very end. And then -2 is going to be second to last, -3, third to last, and so on. So -10 to -1 will grab last 10 objects in that collection of values in Hive. And that's how we get the bottom 10 companies in that list. Again, same manipulation with the logo. You will see it with all these buttons because we have to modify the logo so it is rendered by default. Well, the way the data is fetched, it contains only the name of the image. So we have to specify the path. So this is the bottom 10. Next one is retrieving all companies. And this is what the logic looks like. Again, same block to get from and to. So we go to the very end, -1, but to get from, it would be more intuitive to say go from 0, which is the very first one, to -1. In the current version, and that's probably going to be changing, both indexes need to be either both positive or both negative. As a result, we have to figure out the negative index of the very first object. And for this, we get the count of how many objects are there, multiplied by -1. So this will end up like -92 or -91 to -1, which grabs all of them. And then this returns all of the objects from sorted set. Again, same manipulation with the logo file, and then taking this collection and assigning it to the repeater, and repeater in UI Builder just renders all of that data. Finally, getting the companies based on the range of market capitalization. For this, there is a slightly different block. Identify Hive name and key name, and then notice that we can specify the range of the score, and here the range is from 500 billion to 1 trillion, and then whatever objects fit that score are returned by that block. So do the manipulation with the logo, get this collection, assign it to the repeater. So very, very simple logic, but tremendous power, and the speed is absolutely phenomenal to get these values. So that's how it works. This page, we will publish it to the marketplace, so it will be very easy to create a new one from that page template, so you can reproduce this example on your own. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of the Hive sorted set capabilities. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, happy coding.